This is the Post Ink. Let's get right into the news. All right, so we got 1090 Jake released his tell-all story that 50 Cent's been promoting. 50 Cent put it up on his Instagram, and it's not what I thought it was going to be. I was hoping that Tammy Callens was going to... There's a lot of redacted paperwork that's in... There's a lot of redacted paperwork that is in these Frank hearings that they keep referring to, and they never show them. The only person that would have it is Tammy Callens. There's no way it would ever come out, unfortunately. So the person that it's protecting is probably Big Meech and Tammy Callens' dealings, and I'm assuming that her lawyer, if she has one, would have this. Now, 50 Cent put this up promoting the 1090 Jake thing. He says, "The truth and nothing but the truth, Tammy Callens is coming soon." He ain't going to release that Tammy Callens documentary until after the next season, which is coming up in like a month or two. And then he'll probably be working on that. But here's the thing. Basically what the Frank hearing comes down to is we've gone over this, but it's like if you read between the lines, Meech was wrong. So Tammy Callens was asked if she knew how she knew Cuffy. It was introduction through Meech. First, it started out as like something to develop a movie for me. She was given the life rights for some reason. She was trusted. She met Big Meech through Blue Da Vinci, and became Meech's assistant when he went to jail through Blue Da Vinci. And for some reason, he trusted her more than anybody in his family, or even a lawyer. You would hire a lawyer to have your life rights. She was dealing with Cuffy to write a movie about BMF. Cuffy was a friend of 30 years. Supposedly Meech made his first $1 million with Cuffy. And anyways, as time goes on, she's introduced to a guy named Suarez as well. This is a guy that was locked up with Meech in 2006. He met him. Suarez beat his case, went home, ran his trucking company, which was really delivering pills from California. And they met. Meech would tell Suarez or Cuffy to holler at Tammy, and they would link up eventually in the early 2010 to 13 era, and they would do a couple deals, right? Now, at this time, Tammy Callens was a confidential informant because in 2008, she's dating this guy named T. White, and she goes to Jack Harvey and tells on him because this guy's money laundering, and she feels like she's going to get involved. Jack Harvey's the guy who took down BMF. How does she know to go to Jack Harvey? Let me think about it. Probably Meech, right? Like Meech probably like, oh, go to my man Jack Harvey. He's the one who took us down, right? And then eventually Cromer takes over after Jack Harvey. They close that case with T. White. And this guy named Keith Cromer, who ends up smashing her, and she ends up just being a paid informant to smash Cromer. He takes over, and then he facilitates this whole thing with Cuffy and Suarez, and eventually Cuffy gets locked up for some wiretaps that they had on him, because they can't charge him for the other stuff because supposedly it was uncovered that Cromer was smashing Tammy Callens, and kind of threw that deal out the window of reducing time for Big Meech, which she confirmed that they had a discussion about when she started working as a confidential informant. And he would send her on missions with like Mexicans to pick up work or facilitate a deal with work. And he said, "You'll never have to testify because these guys are going to get sent back to Mexico." I mean, that's the gist of it. And, if you read between the lines, it's, she confirms that Big Meech found out about it at one point, just told her keep his name out of it. He was very not shocked at all. Obviously, he knew. Let's just be honest, okay? And that just makes Big Meech like a horrible person, really, honestly. And almost like a piece of what for setting up people he knows. Now, this is what I assume is going to happen in the future with this thing. I feel like I don't think 50 Cent's going to end BMF. I think he's going to try to negotiate, even though he's had his thing with Southwest T, where Southwest T linked up with Supreme's son and took pictures and stuff because he was upset he wasn't getting paid a lot from the Big Meech story, the BMF story. I think it's a better Southwest T always seems like a more stand-up person in the end of the day, where he could buy his life rights and work with him and tell the story from Terry's perspective, which would be interesting because Terry and Big Meech just don't like each other. They're brothers and they have brotherly love, but they don't like each other. They didn't like each other before they went to jail. They were playing the blame game. Big Meech would say, you were talking to the phone too much. That's what got us caught up. Terry would say, your flashiness of having billboards in Atlanta with your face on it, driving, $500,000 cars, houses, throwing money on millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars in clubs every night. That's what got the attention on them, which started a wiretap on Terry. Now, Terry did talk a lot on the phone, but, and then they had snitches. They didn't keep people in check. Every organization is going to have snitches, though. So I feel like Terry and 50 will move on and for chapter 2 of BMF. And it'll just be season 1. And they'll probably have to replace Little Meech, Rick Ross tricked Big Meech out of a nice situation just to get back at 50 Cent. And eventually, Big Meech will realize that. And he'll have a beef with Rick Ross. He'll realize that Rick Ross can't offer him anything. Neither can Floyd Mayweather. And he chose to be petty rather than stick it out, work with 50, and move on from there and build a business. Build more business together. Do spin-offs, merch, walkthroughs. Meech could have made easily $10 to $30 million over the course of the next decade. But he chose to throw it all away because he wanted everything right now. He still didn't learn anything. So it is what it is. We'll leave this here. It's a shame. Rick Ross is very selfish for what he did. But, hey, he got his... he destroyed one of 50 Cent shows, so I guess that's a win for him. I will check you guys in the next one. This is the Post Inc. Peace.